Howdy there, folks. Cody here, checking out the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, which seems interesting. It is a tabletop RPG adventure, but is a roguelike, basically, I guess is how I would describe it from what I've seen. It looks cool. I love the little video I saw of the little, like, figures moving around. I don't know why, but I was thinking of like hero clicks. I don't know if y'all remember hero clicks. That was like a big thing when I was in middle school, and then I don't really know what happened to it after that. It was super cool. Specifically Marvel, I think, was the big thing that was at our school with it. But anyways, weird ran over. There isn't a demo for this one, but I do have the Steam stuff linked down below if you want to go buy the game for yourself. Looks interesting. It's got pretty solid reviews. I'll be honest with you, I just saw it on Keymailer, and I watched the trailer video. And I was like, I have to just check the game out because of the way, like, your little character moves around the board and stuff like that. That was, like, what sold me. But yeah, I did get the key from Keymailer and the devs, just to get that out of the way. So thanks to them for the key. Thank y'all for watching. But let's just hop in. Dyslexic-friendly font. Yes, please. Awesome. I'm dyslexic, so that's great. So there's a new expansion, okay. Literally all I did was load up the game and that was it, so. There's community stuff, I don't care, let's just hop in. Unlock Gauntlet, you must complete the... Okay, interesting, I wonder if that's like a way to just go through the combat. Greetings, player, welcome to the world of Titan. In particular, the most notorious of all lands, Alonzia. I am Orania, the Keeper of Souls, your guide and your game master of sorts. Many adventurers have entered Firetop Mountain over the last 30 years or so. Precarious readers have wandered the many passages, battling the monsters within and negotiating the many traps, only then to take on the might of Zagor the Warlock. With skill, stamina, and luck, they have chosen their many paths and rolled their fate. Many of these brave young adventurers have perished in the darkness, and their souls, even now, lie unclaimed. You appear to be the next brave soul to take on the mountain and all it contains. To do this, you will need to choose an Alonzian hero to take into the mountain. Don't get too comfortable with your choice, however, as the ways are treacherous, and it is doubtful that you will survive. Only by bringing me the souls of the fallen may you be blessed with new heroes over time, each with their own guests within Zagor's domain. Okay. Can I pick this guy? This guy looks cool. Okay, so it's just these four. This guy's kind of like a swashbuckler. Lots of stamina. He's got a front attack, a right attack, a piercing. Interesting. That sounds kind of cool. Okay, educated in, ooh, fortune. I do like being fortunate. This guy just looks fucking dope. Okay, I really like the way the figures look. Even more stamina. Stamina, skill, and luck. Are those our only things? It's like it. Is this like randomly generated? I wonder if they're, or if these are it. Reading is not my strong suit. Fearsome. Ooh, I can strike fear into people. Blade. Okay, so I move with that one and strike on the side. Okay. Ooh, interesting. So ooh, I like it when poison's like that, so it's like you take more damage. Oh, man, look at that fucking mustache. Golly, that guy's cool. Picking, okay. Ooh, I like both of those. Strike, right attack. Dodge bolt. Brazenly fires off a bolt from his crossbow, then ducks to the side for cover. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, okay, and then there's like unlocks and stuff. Ooh, I like how they're not painted yet, because they're not unlocked. Okay. Oh, look at this guy. Fucking got 3 arrows in there. Tolerant of doors. Oh, is this a rhinoceros man? 23 is a grizzled rhino man ex-soldier who wanders the southern fringes. Oh, but he's so big. Oh, that's fun. Ooh, I like this guy. All the cool crossbow, all the cool bow people aren't really here. Oh, neat. Is this someone that's Kickstarter heroes? Interesting. I wonder if these were added because of Kickstarter or if these are like backers. Oh, that's cool. Chinese pose. Goblin Scourge, this is the DLC. Oh, I love that it's like a fucking box. Okay, neat. Okay, there's a lot of characters to choose from. I have no idea who to choose. They all sounded really cool. I'm gonna take this guy because he's got a bow, and I kind of like bows. And he's got cool facial hair. Does he have bangs? Is that like straight across bangs that I'm seeing? Soldier for hire. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, you've chosen Deckenstorm, a wise choice for your first game, player. Before entering the mountain, I want you to visit the one-armed swords master of Anvil, Lin Win Sai. He will teach you the basics of combat, which you need to know if your hero is to survive Zagor's domain. During your adventures, you will encounter many different foes, magical and monstrous, brigand and beasts. There will be an assortment of creatures lurking within Firetop Mountain, eager to bring, your adventure to a premature end. Okay. Let us learn to walk before we start running, shall we? Lin Win Sai wants you to fight some Quintans, which will allow you to experience how combat functions. Also, if I pronounce Lin Win the wrong way, I'm sorry. The dagger alive. You can choose to move or attack by selecting a space. Select a move to advance towards the Quantum. After you select your action, both you and your opponent will play out their moves simultaneously. Move to the side to avoid his attack. Ah, so that's what that dodge attack thing. Okay. Sometimes it's better to move where the enemy is likely to move instead of where they currently are. Attack the space in front of Quinton. Ah. You'll clash. There's then a test of who has the greatest skill, with the loser taking damage. Okay. We clash. Do I have better skill, so I win? Oh no, it's dice. Okay. But okay. So it's skill plus the dice roll. I like that. Okay, your moves will move and attack in somewhat predictable patterns. Pay attention to where they shake to indicate where they'll be attacking next. Use your movement and attacks to defeat the Quinton. Ah, you fool. Yay, victory, I am triumphant. What are you doing, Mittens? Comfy. Okay, in addition to the basic attacks, Shiro has special attacks that they can unleash. These attacks take several turns to recharge, so use them sparingly. Beat this pair of Quinton. Oh, nice, I got both of them. We got both of them. So he's gonna move there, I'm guessing. So he's gonna move here, I'm guessing. We should flash, right? Okay. I'm not totally getting the shake thing that it was talking about, but it looks like they turned to where they're going to move or attack. Okay, congratulations, you passed the basic combat training. Just one more thing, player. While you're on your quest, keep an eye out for wooden benches like this one. Rest ye here, weary traveler. Okay, so we gotta rest. Using them will allow you to restore your stamina. If you run out of stamina, your adventure ends. But be sure to take a rest now and then. You also have some provisions which you can use at any time, but they tend to work best when you are resting in a pinch. Keep that in mind. You will receive 3 resurrection stones at the start of your quest. If your adventurer dies heroically, you can use 1 stone to bring them back to life. Be warned though that your hero will only appear at the last bench that you passed. You will also lose any souls that you absorb between the seat and the location of their death. Okay? This is where I leave you, the player. It is time for you to begin your journey. Travel to Firetop Mountain. That right there. This? Oh, I love that. At last, your 2-day hike is over. When goblin bandits ambushed your convoy on the road to Zingus, you were outnumbered and had to fight your way to the safety of Anvil. One of the goblins, a so-called jailer called Rotgut, stole from you a valuable locket that was given to you in Kalanmosh many years ago by a priest of Arantus. You were planning to sell it for a princely sum and retire from the dangerous life of an armed caravan escort. Rumors at Anvil have led you to believe that the goblins that attacked your convoy were under the command of none other than Zagor, the mysterious warlock who rules Firetop Mountain. You are determined to find the jailer, reclaim your prize, and buy a horse to travel back to Seredith. There is a sizable fortune left after this, so much the better. You also have heard tales from the locals that the warlock is a man to be feared as much as he is wealthy. You are not easily intimidated, but if a Jinn were to appear and grant you 100 gold pieces and a Frimprian stallion in return for your soul, you might just take the deal. You cautiously approach a cave entrance, which you know is used frequently by goblins. You check that your crossbow is secured on your back and grip the hilt of your sword. You are ready to face any foe. Your adventure awaits. Starts. Ooh, I love this. Beautiful artwork. You see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of you. The air is cold and dank. Hearing the faint scurrying to the east, you light your lantern. This place stinks of goblins and orcs. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on my locket so I can get out of here. Okay, step wearily into the blackness. Oh, neat. So if you miss something, you can go back. Okay. Got a compass. Got thing. Okay, we got 3 souls. For a few yards, we hear a junction. Turn west for a fight. Or we're scurrying to the east, though. Yeah, let's go east, I guess. Do I want to fight this guy? I don't know. Ooh, I love this. The sound of scurrying continues ahead of you, as well as the sound of heavy footsteps. I could hide, but I'm sure I can take on whatever is coming. A few yards ahead, at the limit of the light cast at your lantern, you catch sight of a cleft in the tunnel wall. You've into that cleft, but there's no way I'm hiding this early in my quest. Prepare to face what approaches. Okay. Coming towards you along the passageway are 2 ugly green-skinned creatures. You have disturbed an orc patrol. I feel pretty confident about taking down these 2. As they unsheath their weapons, you arm yourself and prepare to fight. Fight the orcs. Why are you staring at the wall, bro? What are you doing? guess I could just attack, right? I probably... Yeah, his skill's 5. It shows me the skill. This gain 4 souls. Ooh, accrued bone charm. Okay, quick search of the orc's bodies turns up a handful of gold pieces, accrued bone charm, and a half-eaten rat on a stick. Yummy. I'll take the bone charm, sure. Trying not to retch as you get close to the orc's stinking corpse. Perhaps it will be useful later. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. East, yeah, I guess. The passageway soon comes to an end at a solid-looking door. Trying to open it, the door refuses to bulge. You listen at the door, but hear nothing. Yeah, I guess let's turn back, I guess. I don't want to break it and get a bunch of dudes on. A little way along the passage, you come to what is clearly a sentry post. Oh, but he's a sleepy little guy. Look at him. You approach with caution and see another orc, this time on his own, in leather armor asleep at his post. This lazy orc needs a surprise wake-up call. Saunter up to the sleeping orc. Boy, you shout, clicking the orc awake. He grumpily gets up with a start, draws his weapon, and snarls at you, ready to fight. I mean, I feel like we could have just stabbed him while he was asleep, right? That seems like in character for our guy, too, I feel like. Okay, let's move here. Won that by 1, right? You lost 2 stamina and gained 2. Defeated the orc guard. Passage begins to widen until you enter a cave. However, blocking the cave's exit are 2 of the ugliest creatures you have ever seen. They have the proportions of dogs, but their hide is rough and scaly. Each beast is chained to the cave wall, secured to their thick brass collars. The 2 orc hounds begin to snarl and strain at their chains. They cannot reach you, but their chains are long enough that you should approach. They can. Okay. The 2 orc hounds begin to snarl and strain at their chains. They cannot reach you, but their chains are long enough that you should approach. You will not be able to escape their slavering jaws. Poor wretches have not been looked after very well, it seems. Maybe I should put them out of their misery. Yeah, draw your weapon and do what must be done. I guess they've got some sort of quick attack thing or something. We lost the stamina there, but... Ooh, there's the rest. Leaving the cave as quickly as you can, you follow a new passage as it turns north. Wooden bench where you may rest. I only lost 3. Okay, so we should sit at least. Okay. Okay, we sit on the bench and rest for a moment. Your aching muscles ease and your tiredness wanes. It's good to take a break on your adventure. Open the door. Door opens to reveal a small, smelly room in the center room of a rickety wooden table on which stands a candle. Underneath the table is a small wooden box. Asleep on a straw mattress, groaning in the far corner of the room is a green-skinned orc. He is a stocky creature with an ugly, warty face. He must be the guard for the night. Obviously, these orcs do not have the same work ethic as the goblins that attacked my convoy. Ooh, yeah, let's try to steal the box. Test our luck. Seven. 9 or under and roll the score of 7. Oh, 9 or under. Interesting. Take the box and creep out of the room. With the box in hand, you leave the room and open the box in the passage. Inside, you find 4 gold pieces and a small mouse, which must have been the creature's pet. You release the mouse, which scurries down off the passageway. Okay. Follow the passage. But you hear nothing. Yeah, I'll open it. Why not? The door opens to reveal a small room with a stone floor and dirty walls. There is a stale smell in the air. In the center of the room is a makeshift wooden table on which is standing a lit candle. Under the table is a small box, and using your keen eye you can see it moves every so often. In the far corner of the room is a straw mattress. Rush your weapon into the box? Angry hiss, which is quickly silenced. Looking more closely, you discover that you have skewered some angry snakes which are trapped inside. Looking more closely, you discover a key which you quickly take. Ooh, Zagor's key found. The stale, dirty room does not seem to have any more secrets to hide. You decide to continue deeper into the orcs' barracks. Let's go eastward. You follow the passage as it slopes downwards until you find yourself at the corner of a large chamber. The architecture suggests this was originally made by dwarven hands, but it has clearly been repurposed by the orcs. It appears to have been turned into some kind of training hall. Dotted around the chamber are a number of wooden posts that bear the marks of axes and other weapons. The cacophonous din echoes around the hall as green-skinned creatures in leather armor either strike their posts with their swords or each other with their wooden cudgels. Guess this is what passes for a training session among the brutish orcs. Look at all these orcs. Even I'm not so foolish as to rush in. At the eastern end of the chamber there are 2 doors. Halfway along the north wall of the hall is another doorway secured by an iron gate. Yeah, let's go back the way we came. That seems best. Although we are lucky, we could try to sneak. Further up the passage, on the west wall, you see another wooden door. You listen at the door and hear the worst singing you've ever heard in your life. Let's investigate. The door opens to reveal a small room. The room is dirty and unkempt. A straw mattress lies in one corner, and in the far corner a flight of steps leads out of the chamber. In the center of the room is a wooden table upon which a candle burns, lighting the room with its flickering flame. A small box rests under the table. Seated around the table are 2 small orcs with warty skin dressed in leather armor. They are drinking some sort of grog, and by the way they stagger to their feet on your arrival, you assume they are very drunk. Pull out your weapon and leap towards them. 2 drunken orcs now face are obviously startled by your entrance, and as quickly as they are able, they fumble around for their weapons. Kinda like this where you click. Ooh, I didn't expect him to be able to hit me. Oh, they have like diagonal attacks. Interesting. Okay, we lost 2 stamina and gained 4 souls. You wipe your bloodied weapon on the mattress, the green blood leaves a slimy stain on the straw. Stepping over the bodies towards the table, you flinch at the foul stench of the creature. Pick up the box from under the table and examine it. It is a small wooden box with crude hinges. The name Fargio DiMaggio is inscribed on a brass mace plate on its lid. I'll open it. The box contains a small leather-bound book entitled The Making and Casting of Dragonfire. You open the pages and begin to read. Fortunately, it is written in your own language, and so was probably not understood by the orcs. Otherwise, this treasure would certainly not be as loosely guarded as it was. The book is written in tiny handwriting by Fargio DiMaggio, and he tells you the story of his life's work, the creation of Dragonfire spell with which to fight evil dragons. You read how in his last years, Fargio finally perfected a spell, but by then was too old to make use of it, so he completed his book, locked it in a chest, and hid it in the depths of Firetop Mountain, afraid that it might fall into the wrong hand. The last page reads, "And so, you who now hold this book, you have my life's work in your hands. The power of destruction is yours if you wish it, but do not waste it. Unless you use the spell for the purpose for which it was intended, you shall be consumed by evil itself, and die by the fire from your own hands. Remember, only when the dragon breathes its fire at you should you raise your arms and say, Ekril, Erif, Ikrim, Egrif, Urim, Ifrif, DiMaggio." You say these words slowly and softly. Suddenly the pages seem to glow. As this glow disappears, so do the words on the pages of the book. You repeat the spell to yourself to memorize. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, let's leave the flight of stairs. Climbing the steps, you finally emerge at the far end of a large room, as untidily kept as any you have entered so far. A large chair behind a solid-looking table suggests that someone or something of rank uses this room. On one side of the room is a wooden bench. To your right, in the far wall of the room, is a large door that clearly leads onwards into the mountain. However, a chest in the center of the room catches your keen eye. Uh-oh. He's whipping another goblin. He's got a cool red coat, so he's in charge, I guess? Opposite you is a man-sized creature with a warty face standing over a smaller creature of similar race. With the whip in his hand, the orc chieftain has been beating his servant, who is whimpering beneath it. Yeah, let's bring it to chieftain. Hey, we got an achievement. As you spring at the orc, his servant rises to his feet, picks up a hefty wooden stick, and joins the melee. But to your disappointment, he attacks you. You kick him aside furiously and dive into the battle with a roar of fury. It's funny. I like how the fights are set up. Okay, the green blood of the dead orcs smell as foul as it seeps from their bodies. Step around the corpses and investigate the chests. It is of sturdy construction, made of strong oak and iron, and it is firmly locked. Looking closer, your keen eye notices there appears to be a mechanical trap fashioned into the lock itself. Oh god, what did I put in? Here, let's try to trigger the trap. Stepping to the side of the chest, you break open the lock and swing the lid open. Your suspicions are confirmed. A soft click comes from the chest and a poisonous dart flies out, harmlessly hitting a wall on the other side. Now that the chest is safe, you can inspect your prize. what was being guarded so carefully. Gold pieces, and the label on the bottle shows it to be a potion of invisibility, good for 1 dose. Ooh. Take the potion of invisibility. What a find. This will definitely come in handy during your adventure. Ooh, sit on the bench. You arrive at a junction. The path continues eastwards and there are stairs leading to the south. Now, let's go eastwards. I'm gonna see what's through the door. Your strange mutterings and the clattering of what could be pots and pans. Whatever's in there, there are several of them. Alright, let's turn back. We turn northwards this time. The passageway leads into a square dungeon chamber. There are 2 doors on the eastern wall and 2 on the western wall. On the opposite side of the room, another passageway leads away north. The first door to the right is well used, and putting your ear to the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from the inside. Deciding what to do next, you listen at the other doors as well. Second door to the right, you hear a thumping sound on the wood. Hello? Hello? Not funny. Open the door. The first door to the left is made of solid metal. Listening at that door, you hear the sound of tortured screams coming from within. Putting your ear to the second door on the left, you hear nothing. Work cells, but maybe they have a goblin jailer working for them. It would be worth checking these out. First door on the right, that's the one where the guy was screaming for help, right? You unbolt the door and swing it open. A nauseating stench hits your nostrils. Inside the room, the floor is covered with bones, rotting vegetation, and slime. A wild-haired old man, clothed in rags, rushes at you screaming. Oh god, he's been in there for a while, huh? What? That's so cool. Beautiful. Love that little touch there. His beard is long as gray and is waving an old wooden chair leg. Is he simply insane as he appears, or has this been some kind of trap? Yeah, let's try to shout at him. You're freed, old man, at the top of your voice. Instantly, his ranting ceases. He stops dead in his tracks and sinks to the floor, weeping loudly. As he gradually composes himself, he thanks you many times. Many years ago, he was an adventurer like you in search of the Warlock's treasure. He was captured by the orcs and thrown into the solitary cell as sort of a pet for the creature. Wait a second, I've heard about this fellow. This is Aaron Zagor, a famed adventurer. You ask him whether he knows of a goblin jailer. While he hasn't met him, he does say that some goblins are said to be encamped by the underground river. He's also learned that the keys to the boathouse are guarded by a man and his dog. You shake his hand and he leaves. Ooh, +1 luck. Thumping? Let's try that thumping. Probably a goblin of some sort. The banging gets louder and the bolt starts to shake. Come on, Nurk, let it out. Wake up. Sliding back the rusty bolt and opening the door, you come face to face with a panic-looking goblin with a horrific creature closing behind it. Slime beast, run! Squeaks the panic goblin and lashes out at you. The toad-like slime beast joins in on the fray, opening its wide mouth. It is full of long, spiked teeth. Ugh. that, I guess? Initially, looks there is nothing of value in the slime beast cell. However, on taking a second glance, you notice a blue candle sitting in them. Though it's an odd place for a candle, you decide to take it with you. It may come in handy in one of the darker areas of the mountain. You put it in your backpack. Second door on the left, that's where we heard nothing. Opening it, the door is unlocked. Opening it, you find yourself at the threshold of Orc's weapon store. A torch hangs from one wall, lighting up a small armory, stocked with swords, shields, helmets, daggers, and breastplates, and the like. That's so cool. I love the already got on and off. A circular iron shield with a golden crest lies at the end of the room. However, as you do not use a shield, it's worthless for you. Search the room. You poke around the room. The weapons are blunted and worthless, and the helmets are battered and rusty. You decide to inspect the breastplates on the shelves to see if there's anything worthwhile there. You examine the breastplates and the shelves thoroughly, but there appears to be nothing of value. Leave the room. Okay, interesting. Tortured screams. Try it out. The door is not locked and opens. The room in front of you seems to be a small torture chamber with various torture devices around the walls. In the center of the room, two small hunchback goblins are having their fiendish way with a dwarf, who is tied to a hook in the ceiling by his wrist. Oh god. The two hunchbacks are poking and cutting him viciously with their swords. The dwarf lets out one final scream and falls silent. Eyes closed, his captors make disappointed noises and look around angrily at you as if you were the fault that the dwarf has collapsed. Draw your weapon and fight them. Yeah, ask them if they know the goblin trade. One of the goblins sneers and spits on the floor as you mention the name of Rodgut. Dark dat Rodgut fool took that dwarf boss to the river prison. Obviously, the goblin has no love for Rodgut, but it views you Obviously, the goblin has no love for Rodgut, but it also views you suspiciously too. Jesus, man, how do I not know how to read? A river prison, eh? I've heard of that this mountain may have an underground river somewhere. Need to get some directions. Press them for more information. Why do you need to know that, The goblin looks at you suspiciously. I want to kill Rodgut. Yes, this good news for me, Snarkle. The goblin goes on to explain that Rodgut has his own private prison away from the prying eyes on the north bank of the river that flows through the mountain. For some reason, Snarkle and Rodgut do not like each other, and you spoke that if Rodgut is gone, Snarkle thinks he may rise in the so-called goblin rings. The goblin directs you through somewhere called the School of Magic and suggests you make a left turn at the junction after the portcullis. It also recommends that later on you take a shortcut past the Trollclave to avoid the meddling magic human. Do I trust Snorkel and his friend to keep quiet, or shall I dispose of them? I'll trust them. Exiting the dungeon, you hear the sound of water ahead of you and make out a grilled portcullis at the end of the passageway. Before you can reach the portcullis, you will have to cross a bridge that passes over a gully of gurgling brackish water. You suspect it may actually be a sewer, judging by the smell rising from it. Alright, make my way towards the bridge. As you make your way towards the bridge, you pass some goblins which appear uglier than the creatures you have encountered so far. Instant, one of the goblins catches a sight of you. It gives a screech of surprise, and it runs at you with its short sword drawn. Kill! Kill! It shouts, drawing the attention of two other goblins. They all attack. Oh my god. I'm glad I didn't go down there. That would have killed me. Walks your way, and no amount of charging is going to budge it. Yeah. Is that these levers have something to do with raising the portcullis. Using your keen eye, you notice that the left lever looks misshapen compared to the right lever. Left lever. To your horror, you realize that this dummy lever was a trap. Although it looked like a handle, it was in fact wax-coated sword blade and has now cut your hand badly. I used my left hand. Although you're injured, you're also fortunate this was not your sword hand, meaning that the injury is not quite so important. -1 skill. Gingerly, you pull on the right lever. Slowly, and I figured it was misshapen because it was used more, if that makes any sense. You hear a deep rumbling noise and the ground begins to shudder. Slowly and noisily, the portcullis rises into the ceiling. With hesitation, you walk towards the junction, listening carefully. However, you hear nothing down either corridor. That goblin said, head left after the portcullis towards that school of magic. I think I'm gonna trust him. Whoa, that's so creepy. And soon you arrive at another junction. Continue westwards. Cautiously continue down the rocky corridor and stop in front of an open portcullis entrance that built into the stone. The sound of clinking chains and monsters growling can be heard. The corridor continues towards the west. Look at this guy. Suddenly, a terrified young acolyte runs into you. His white, rune-embroidered robes are torn and smudged with dirt. He looks at you with panic in his wide eyes. I yield. Education is not worth this much danger, no matter how great the reward. Taking a moment to catch his breath, the student begins to relax. My name is Ian the White, he says. I am a humble student seeking entry to the School of Sorcery. He learned that he gained entry but was deemed unworthy by the Elemental Master. I skipped the river as close to the school. You ask the young acolyte if he knows the whereabouts of the river and if he has heard of a goblin called Rotgut. The river is north beyond the school to the west, but I don't know the goblin you seek, I'm afraid. I did see a poor, half-dead dwarf being dragged through the school by a group of goblins some days ago, if that helps. Yes, I bet that was Rotgut. I should press on immediately westward. You reach a junction where the path turns north through an archway held up by 2 pillars. A narrow passage also runs off to the west. I would guess that the school is more likely located through the pillars than down a narrow passage. So we want to go west then? You walk along the corridor, you can see ahead that it's getting narrow. At one point you stoop, and as you do, a deep resonating laugh starts up around you. Ignoring the laughter, you get down on your hands and knees and continue further into the narrowing passage. The laughter booms even deeper until the very ground itself begins to rumble. Then you notice that the ground is rumbling. Quickly scrambling back in time, you barely manage to avoid hungry rock grubs. They burst through the ground, eager for a feast. Finally made use of dodgeballs. Defeated the rock group. With the rock group disposed of and nowhere else to go, you cursed yourself for falling for another of the Warlock's traps. You fall flat on your face from the cramped conditions and the laughter echoes once more. As you pick yourself up, your keen eye spots something buried in the dirt. You dig it out and discover a potion of skill. At least something good came of the Warlock's trickery. You decide to return for the main passageway. Alright, northwards it is. You walk down the passageway and grasp at the sight you discover. Directly in your path is a large pair of wooden doors carved to look like a menacing fanged mouth. A simple sign ahead reads, "Speak the magic words." As soon as you begin to approach here, you startle a nearby lizard. It darts off down towards the doors. They spring to life as though controlled by magic. They lift and drop dangerously, and as the lizard tries to zip through them, the doors close and crush it flat. The bull amulet. Speak the magic words. And graze you as you make it through. Oh no. Oh dear, looks like the mountain has claimed yet another victim. Now we'll return to the main menu. We played a decent amount. Interesting. Okay. Some of the reviews did say that it was more of a, like, interactive novel than an actual video game, and I can see that now after playing it. Seems fun. Lots of reading. Seems like something I would play but not want to stream, because I don't want to sit there and read the voices out loud when I play. That's cool. I'm intrigued by the story. It seems like a lot of the stuff is predetermined in a way. So like you could, like a choose your own adventure book kind of vibe. So you could probably like master it. I love the art style. I would love a more like tactics, the combat focus of it to be a game. I think that would be super cool. But I liked it. Seems fun. Not exactly my type of game, if that makes any sense. Like for making content, just because of the reading. I think it's fun. I might play a little more. I'm not exactly sure. I've got a few keys to go through. But yeah, the game has been out for a while. Looks like it got released on August 30th in 2016. I believe the big part of like this keymailer push I got was because they just added some DLC to it. But yeah, pretty fun. It seems interesting. So if you're into like a visual novel, like story-based games, I would definitely strongly recommend it from just a gameplay standpoint. Not as strong in the combat, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. Steam stuff is in the description. Like and subscribe. Hope to catch y'all in the next one.